Patrick, welcome to our video podcast on Data Gurus.
We did this.
Yes.
This
Excited.
is a good day.
Today marks the first in-person ResTech Capital Markets Day.
What were we thinking?
I don't know. And I remember when you said it, like last year after we published The Landscape, you're like, we're going to have a capital market.
We need a capital markets day.
And that was a year ago.
And I think your first reaction was, what?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah. You know, I don't know I don't think people really understood why we delved into this.
Right.
You know, what was the reasoning behind it? And quite frankly, how much work we put into it.
It's a lot more than maybe we even thought it would be.
They're like, oh my gosh, we have to meet again.
Yeah.
We have to meet again.
Well, luckily we like hanging out, so it's okay, but still.
That's true. Yeah. So I know, you know, the ResTech Landscape we published about a year ago.
We did a draft version at SampleCon and then an official release August, September, something like that.
Yeah. And
has to be August. No, it was September because I went ahead and took that job, remember? Distracted me a little bit. Yep.
Yeah, you kind of disappeared for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So don't worry, I'll be back. Yeah. But we had a pretty rigorous methodology in terms of how we approached the landscape. We looked at, I think, thousands of companies.
It was at least 1,000 to 2,000 companies going through all of their websites. What do they do? Do they fit anywhere on the landscape or not? Are they big enough? There are all these wannabe thingy, like, are you a company or are you an idea?
Right. And I was surprised to see that we had so many downloads. I think we had over 1,000.
Oh, is that the count? Doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah. And then I think, you know, a lot of people asked us, I remember when we presented at SampleCon, they're like, is this a business? What is this? What are you guys up to? And we're like, we're not up to anything except advocating for our industry.
That's right.
Right? What do you how do you think it's shaped the industry thus far? What's your opinion?
Well, the way I look at it is we both kind of started in this advocacy of what about the industry, I think, with SampleCon.
Yes.
And it was a lesson I learned when we started that project that we needed a place for a certain type of conversation.
Right.
And for SampleCon, of course, all about sample.
It's a sample, right.
But I think as I started to grow in my career around building Lucid, selling Lucid, financing Lucid, and you working on the banking side, I think at least what I say is we noticed there was a need for a different conversation, which is where is the industry going? Who's in it? And what's the combination of kind of capital partners and companies that are driving the conversation of where this is going?
Yes.
And where does this group come together?
Right.
And part of it's around the landscape, which is how do we visualize, picture, talk about the size, scale, scope of the industry. And then I think for today's Capital Markets Day, it's about a place, a moment in time to have the conversation together about where the industry is going from a capital investor ownership standpoint. I
totally agree with you. Going to capital partners that have never invested in this space takes so much education and understanding. And I think that this forum will be a platform for that continued education and understanding as one part. And the other part is I think there needs to be translators, right? In terms of understanding market research deeply, the ResTech ecosystem, understanding private equity or investors, and connecting, creating that common language.
Well, I look at, in order for a lot of our companies to be successful with our customers, with our employees, with the vision for the business, we have to bring in capital.
Yeah.
And to bring in capital, they have to be able to understand and underwrite not just the company, but the thesis of the industry.
Correct.
And so we're not out there explaining how this industry continues to develop, grow, innovate, and create value.
Yeah.
We're all going to be challenged with bringing capital players to the table. Regardless if you're raising capital for the first time or you're going through an IPO or private equity, all these things are required for the investor to grok what it is we do. And let's be serious. Every time an investor comes to this industry, they're like, what is this thing? It's so nuanced and weird. Like our work's cut out for us to make this work. Right?
Yeah. And it's not Band-Aids. It's not just wording. It's really trying to help understand the fundamentals of the industry as quickly as possible. And as you know, I mean, there are deals where you pitch over and over and over again until finally it clicks for somebody. It says, oh, okay, I get that now.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's my hope with the concept of ResTech and ResTecher is that if we frame the category and the industry direction well, then it'll be easier for that leap of faith to be made, or that connection point to be made between someone who's outside the industry. And it doesn't have to be an investor. It could be a future employee.
For sure.
Right? I'm looking for a role, a new job. What is this industry? How do I get my hands around it? How do I feel like I'm not just diving into a random company I can barely explain, but rather an ecosystem of opportunity?
It validates it.
Yeah.
It validates it. So you ready to do this?
Well, if I've learned anything, Seema, we can make it work regardless, right?
That's true. That's true.
How many times have we just kind of, let's put on a show, right?
True. And you know what? The good news is it comes together and it's easy because we work well together.
Absolutely. And we have good friends in the room. It's not like we're among, people we don't know. It's so great that, Vin and Savanta have helped out a lot. Paul as well at Dig.
Dig Insights. Yeah.
This is just, it's not, yes, we are kind of driving, but we've had a bunch of people jump in and say, how can I help? How can I move this thing forward? And the first one is hard.
Yes.
The sophomore album is always the hardest. But if we get past Capital Markets Day 2, yes, we said that, then we'll be all right.
Yeah, we're in good shape. Let's go do this. Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you, Seema. Cool.
Take care.